the Batman Part 2 coming out this year. Next year. Alright, 2027. Matt, learn how to type with more than one finger. No, but seriously, they should take as long as they need to make a sequel on par to that first film. However, with all this extra wait time, we can speculate on who should be the main antagonist of the Batman Part 2. Also, I will be taking into account that this universe is grounded. James Gunn has got the fantastical stuff, Reeves is doing the realistic method. So if you're expecting to see Kite Man, I'm sorry. Number 9. The Joker. The Joker is arguably Batman's most iconic villain, and I would say his best. He challenges Batman not through strength or intelligence, but by attacking Batman's weak points, making him enthralling to see on screen. So, why is he at the bottom? Simple. Joker has already been done perfectly in a realistic manner by an amazing director and an amazing performer. I don't want to see that again. I'm fine if Joker's in the DCU, because that way they can do the fantastical type. But like a realistic Joker within 15 years of the last one, it's too soon for me. Come on, give it a break. Batman has so many rogues villains that I would much rather see on the big screen than him again. He's been adapted to death. So I say let James Gunn have the Joker. Matt Reeves, you get some of the other characters. I know they teased him in the Batman Part 1 at the end, and there was a deleted scene with him, but I mean, in the words of Mickey Mouse, it's never too late. You don't have to keep him. If Matt Reeves really wants to, and it's important to his vision, then yeah, go ahead, do that. But as for me, Joker's not someone who I'd be gunning for to see. Number 8. Hush. Hush is a really cool villain who, unlike the Joker, has not been adapted nearly at all. I mean, in some video games and a lot of cartoons / animated films, but like, he hasn't been adapted in live action, and that's kind of disappointing considering how cool of a villain he is. You know, Thomas Edison. Did I just call him Thomas Edison? Anyways, for such a unique twist of a character, it's really disappointing that we haven't got to see him. However, he's low on the list because he would be very similar, I feel like, to Riddler. Almost a little too similar. You know, Riddler had that whole, like, you know, tape shtick and, like, serial killer killing people. It's all just, like, in the same vein as Hush. And he was lightly teased in the first film, but I think that was just the kind of, oh, look, there's Hush, the guy you like. Okay, that's it. You know, I don't think they're actually going to adapt him as a full-on villain, which is understandable. I mean, I'm glad they went with the Riddler route, because riddles and stuff were just so fun in the first movie. It's cool having a realistic adaptation of him. But man, it's a little disappointing, because now if they do Hush, it's going to feel way too similar to the first film, which is why he's number 8 on the list. Number 7. Two-Face. Two-Face is very similar to the Joker for me. I feel like he was adapted amazing in The Dark Knight. I mean, what can I say? It was a perfect, realistic adaptation. The only critique I have with it is that he didn't get enough screen time. This one I do have higher on the list than Hush and Joker, because I believe they could add some new spice to that realistic Two-Face, like how Caped Crusader did it. However, I don't feel like there's a need / a want for that right now. I don't think anyone's, you know, jumping over the fence like, give us Two-Face, especially since he was just in Joker 2, Caped Crusader, like I said, The Dark Knight. He's actually gotten pretty popular over the years, so we probably don't need another adaptation. Even though I do think they should include Harvey Dent. They don't have to have Two-Face, but probably should put Harvey Dent in there. That way they can expand the world of Gotham, especially with the Penguin going into Mayor and whatnot. Do that. The more side characters we get in this universe, in my opinion, the better. Flesh it out. Number 6. Mad Hatter. Okay, Mad Hatter, hot take, is underrated. Is he a great villain? By all means, no. He's not amazing on the same levels as Bane. But I think he's pretty cool. I think that he deserves a chance to be adapted. Especially, can you imagine like a psychopathic dude in this realistic universe as the Mad Hatter, using maybe not technology, but gases and stuff, similar to the Scarecrow, to cause these hallucinations and whatnot. That would be gas, low-key. I don't think that they're gonna adapt it. I think the concept of Mad Hatter's too goofy for them, even though they could do it in a realistic manner. However, man, what a fun guy who just most people do not like. You know, when they hear Mad Hatter, they're like, the dude from Alice in Wonderland? Are ya kidding me? But he's supremely underrated, and I think it'd be pretty cool to have him. IDK, hot take. Tell me in the comments below what you think about that. Number 5, Clayface. Okay, listen up. So, I know that the DCU is making a Clayface movie, alright? Very hyped for that. Very excited to see what they do. We've had Clayface and Creature Commando as the very fantastical version. Hear me out though. I think it'd be pretty cool to see him in a realistic form in Matt Reeves' universe, similar to Caped Crusader, you know? The actor who has that deformed skin, turns into a serial killer. That, I think, would be pretty cool. Even if Matt Reeves doesn't think he has enough sauce for being a main antagonist. I mean, put him as a side antagonist. That could work. I mean, just depends how they do it. Overall, I do think, I mean, they're obviously not going to go the full fantastical route with Clayface, especially since that's what James Gunn is doing. But realistic, I really think could work. I know a lot of people don't see Clayface as a realistic villain if they tackle him that way, but I think there's a chance they could. Number 4, Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is an awesome villain who's only been adapted in live action once, and that was the Arnold Schwarzenegger version. Not the that version or anything, but that was quite the opposite of realistic or good. Now, a lot of people are going to be shocked by this, like, what? It's a scandal. Why isn't he at number 1? And my complaint for him is similar to what I have for Clayface. If they're doing Mr. Freeze, I would much rather see him in James Gunn's fantastical universe. A grounded Mr. Freeze could work, but I'm afraid they're going to take away too many elements, like his suit, his red eyes, his freeze gun, maybe even his relationship with Nora. Like, I don't want to see the Gotham Mr. Freeze again, where it's more of a realistic doctor. If you're going to do Mr. Freeze, go all out, go fantastical. Don't give us a phoned-in version. I think Matt Reeves could make it work. Just, even if he does make it work, I feel like it wouldn't be the best for the story or the film. Now, before I move on to my top 3, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Oh, okay, that was cringe. But actually, please do subscribe. My analytics have been looking terrible. The channel's kind of died off recently. So, all the help I can get would be much appreciated. Number 3, Scarecrow. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, is a great villain, and he's only been adapted in live action once. And while I think that was a cool adaptation, A, it was way too realistic. Like, that costume, hot take, was kind of stupid. But B, he was acted very well by Cillian Murphy. I mean, just amazing actor. Loved his work in literally everything he's been in. However, I would love to see another shot at it in Matt Reeves' more gothic universe. You know, I mean, I know they have to stay PG-13 probably. However, they have a lot of wiggle room for Scarecrow, you know? Just go all out, make him terrifying, like a horror movie villain in a Batman film. I get excited just thinking about that. I think that's one of the best possibilities they could go with it, especially with him being teased in The Penguin. Speaking of The Penguin, number 2, Penguin. Alright, if it wasn't for the Penguin show, this guy would have been like at the bottom of the list. But man, that show has completely changed my mindset on things. I think that he could not only be in the second film as a side villain, I think he could carry it as the main antagonist. I mean, they set him up to try to become the mayor of Gotham. If they expand on that in the second movie, oh, chef's kiss. Colin Farrell is absolutely stunning as the Penguin. And, I mean, growing up, this is gonna sound crazy to y'all, I always liked the Penguin better than Joker. That was before I watched The Dark Knight. But, to be fair, I've always had the soft spot for him, and I wanted to see him done good. And, I mean, yeah, it would be awesome if we got him, you know, full realistic as the villain for the second movie. That'd make me excited. They could wait and do him for the third film, maybe expand the Penguin show, give it a second season, but I think the second movie would be good for him. Number 1, The Court of Owls. I used to think that the Court of Owls were an overrated group of villains for Batman. I didn't think they would work, they were cool enough, you know, you have all these creative characters. Why go for the Court of Owls? But then your boy did a thing, and he read a few comic books. And my gosh, the Court of Owls are entertaining, fun, and they would really add a new layer to the corrupt Gotham that we explored in the Penguin and Batman one. I mean, they could still incorporate the Penguin and his mayor plotline, just maybe make it a bit smaller. That way they could also have the Court of Owls. Yes, please, Matt Reeves, balance the Penguin and Court of Owls. That would be perfect. It would work so darn well. And they could also have Talon as a physical threat for Batman. Since in the first film, a lot of his challenges were mental, the second one, they could do philosophical and physical. I hate to use this word, but I legit think the sequel to the Batman could be perfect and on the same level as The Dark Knight, as long as they do it well. And to make a movie well, it requires a great villain. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.